Welcome to Crusading Through Part 3. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
And this is that one other JoJo podcast we do where we go through all of the Part 3 manga, arc by arc.
Yes.
As you do.
Yes, and today we're doing chapters 11 through 13, the Silver Chariot arc.
So yeah, if you're keeping up at home, go read those chapters right now and then come back and we'll talk about them together and it'll be like you have friends that you talk about with JoJo.
Sure. Yeah, so, this basically picks up, at the end of Tower Grey, but then just putting the corpse, it was covered with a blanket.
Yeah, when I was reading this, I literally didn't realize the next chapter started.
Yeah, well...
Because it happened so quickly.
And his tongue, you just basically just see his tongue, explode, essentially, or split down the middle, and then next thing, his head is exploded as well.
It is hilarious that Avdol literally just throws a blanket over his what they presume to be his corpse, which we soon learn is not his corpse.
So they also notice he doesn't have a flesh bud. He is a thief. He's a hired hand.
I think it's funny that he calls him a thief when he's clearly worse than a thief.
Yeah, he's a mass murderer.
A literal mass murderer.
A hitman, maybe.
Almost certainly. I mean, you could consider this a hit.
I guess so.
Or an attempted hit,
A hitman doesn't care about collateral damage.
Yeah.
But, so the plane starts falling because apparently he just killed the pilots, and he just casually storm the cockpit, pushes the women at the people only people that are awake and are not freaking out by the blood, anything that just happened.
Yeah.
The blood or maybe the sound of emerald splashes hitting the ground.
So, okay, think about some of the things that happened in the last fight.
Yes.
One of the biggest action, I think, that we see is affecting the environment is Tower of Grey, pierces through, 7 skulls and also chairs. That would make a lot of noise.
And even though I still would expect to hear, a grunt or, just the sound of stuff piercing, breaking through, probably going through a piece of the spine.
Oh, totally. And then also the sound of Seven Tongues smacking the wall as he writes massacre on the wall.
Do. In English.
Yeah, in English, yeah.
I didn't mention that. I'm pretty sure it's only... Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that's not,
an edit,
not in kanji or anything.
Because above it, there's writing, which I assume is a translation.
Yeah. In English, this means...
So, I think it's really funny, the way that Araki paints women in Part 3 is
they're just fangirls.
Every girl has the propensity to just be a fangirl for JoJo.
And I'm pretty sure even the female stan users, they're almost all in love, maybe except for Mariah, where she kind of dick teases them.
Yeah.
Where every other one are just looking for love as well.
Well, she's into what's the opposite of Yuri? No, wait.
But she's very, teasing them kind of thing. But she's very, she is,
and she gets them to, hump each other.
Yeah, she's flirty and, kind of like that, but she's not, pining over love like the other two female.
Yeah, she's into yaoi. She's trying to set up, Joseph and Avdol together.
Yeah, she's not like Midler or,
Midler.
the fat one, I forget, just that are,
I don't remember.
That are, pining for love kind of thing to him.
I love Bette Midler.
Yes.
Midler!
But yeah, they're like, oh my god, he pushed that out of the way. How attractive. You meant to go to a bar just pushing a girl outside and be like, oh my god.
And then Kakuin
sorry about my friend. It's a good cop, bad cop, but hitting on women.
I love how Kakuin knows that he's really hot too, and he's so flirty. I already feel like I'm getting more character out of the characters than I did in the anime.
That you remember anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure people could be like, oh, Jim, you idiot. If you look at this scene, 5 minutes in episode 5 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure of Stardust Crusaders, this scene that you're talking about happens. Well, I forgot.
Just like Araki, Jim forgot.
No. Also, as I said, I just appreciate manga more. Something that I've also noticed with Dr. Stone is, it feels like you can cram more into a page. You can cram, the funny reaction shots into a page where, while other important things happening, but in an anime, you have to make that the thing. You have to focus on those reaction shots.
But the good thing about Dr. Stone anime is that they draw out some of those really good moments, and they have great music behind them. So the anime does a great job with those really good moments.
And the anime does do a decent job at recreating some of the really funny faces too.
Yeah, I have so many. I love in that. So
we find the pilots are all dead with their tongues missing.
Because as we said, if you listen to last episode, we said it just kills people instantly.
Yeah.
With their tongues.
Well, we did see he does plow through the back of their skull. We don't see any evidence of that.
The one has
the pilots.
One kind of they have a little splatter on the back.
Okay, yeah, I guess you're right.
There are 3 pilots.
Yo. The one was the
pilot?
inflatable co-pilot.
I guess it was like airplane. We have like Roger, over. All those. One of them was Kareem.
I think it's really great that Joseph just instantly tries to start flying the plane. Like, what an awesome guy.
So yeah, but before that, like Tower Grey is still alive. By the way, he just jumps up and says, "There's more enemy stand, not just me," and then he dies.
Also, one thing he says. Oh, I guess this is a good time to bring this up. He says, "My stand, the Tower card, which signifies accidents and the end of journeys." So I wanted us to like think about some of the other characters we've seen so far and how
it's kind of ironic that he's the start of the journey, though. Like the fight.
Yeah, that is actually funny. Okay, so Tower of Grey, he's saying we see end of journeys and accidents, whatever. So the star.
Yes.
Let's see what the star. So I think instantly I think of like the main character.
Are we doing Tarot time?
Yeah. Hold on.
I'm so used to Persona that I think the Fool is the main character.
I know, right? All right, so let me use the star tarot meaning. Yeah. It's something I probably should have pulled up already.
Yeah.
Okay, when the star card appears, you are likely to find yourself feeling inspired, bringing a renewed hope. Also, generally, it's depicted as a woman, a naked woman, pouring out 2 jugs of water. One is being poured into a body of water. The other is being poured onto grass.
Hot.
Not in this one. Not this picture. So yeah, healing, hope, and renewal. What other one we have? We have hope. Magician's Red. Hope. Okay, let's actually talk about it.
I can see the hope. We can get that one pulled up. But yeah, hope I can see. But I just thought, maybe it's also a very broad.
Healing is not a feeling that I get from Jojo. He feels like he's not interested in healing anything.
I feel like I'm not sure because there's so much stuff about tarot cards that like I feel like depending on where you look at, that is like the description of it. And
so another thing with tarot cards is you could be like, oh well, actually this character's a reverse tarot, which like reverse tarots have like a whole other. So you could say like, oh well, he's not healing because he's a reverse tarot of star.
Reverse harem.
One thing I do want to say is that. I don't believe in tarot. I think it's stupid. I do love it as a like fictional theme.
I love that too. Like astrology, I don't believe in.
I literally hate astrology, except this. Okay, magician. So Abdul, the magician.
It's like a birthstone. It's like this thing is like neat to have. Like, oh, cool. I'm an Aries, but like I'm not gonna go like deep in there. Like,
here's something interesting. The crystals associated with the magician's red are fire opal. Well, magician, not magician's red. So this is
another subset of freaking like birthstones. Like now you got your gems to go with your tarot gem.
So this one says alchemy, manifestation, and willpower for the magician. I feel like I can get that. Manifestation and willpower are just like general like things you need to do to have a stand. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you have to have will.
With a fire stand though, I kind of I think that makes sense.
To me, the theme of a magician and then wielding fire, like that makes a lot of sense here.
So,
and then there's
Hierophant, green, and then you can get a silver chariot.
I think.
As well.
Okay, I'm before I look it up. I think Hierophants are like
and Hermit.
Yeah. Oh, the Hermit is a little more self-explanatory. I think Hierophants are like, sort of antagonistic. Maybe. Let's see what it says. All right, the Hierophant represents. Well, this can't be real.
What?
Big business. Tradition and spirituality.
The biggest business.
I don't know if I trust this website.
Yeah.
Let's see what this one says.
I mean, just wait till like the tarot readers in the comments will probably correct you.
Yeah, right.
On a more simple. If you want to explain the tarot stuff, just do as simple as possible for a small brain, non-tarot.
So the Hierophant is actually, it seems to be a religious leader. So this is something I don't get anything out of Cat Queen. This says it's associated with baptisms, weddings, marriages, forgiveness, teachers, tradition, and ceremonies. He doesn't feel like a traditional Japanese character, and his look is definitely not traditional Japanese character. He is okay. So I guess marriage. You could say that he's the most like romantic character, but marriage and romance aren't two interlinked things, in my opinion.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm completely lost when it comes to tarot card stuff.
All right, so let's see what the Hermit is. We'll get through this really quick. The Hermit is ascension, illumination, and introspection.
Okay.
Well, we know that Joseph did ascend into space. near the end of part 2.
Yes,
So that's
true.
Ascension. Introspection. These are also things I don't associate with Joseph as a character.
I kind of looking at the reversed hairpin. It was like personal beliefs, freedom, challenging the status quo.
Kind of, I guess, because he does take his own destiny. Like he takes his destiny in his own hands.
Yeah.
By choosing to go after Dio after being freed.
Yeah, he could have just stayed there.
This is the kind of thing that I was saying. Like you could almost justify any of these just by looking at the reverse tarot.
He named it when he was under control, but now he's like not. He's reversed it. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe when they have the flesh bud, we should be looking at the reverse tarot. Which one do we need? We need
You got the
chariot.
Chariot. Yes. Let's see.
This is a great podcast.
Well, let's keep this shorter, and you're going with the tarot.
No, this one I knew that we were gonna go.
Okay,
the tower. I wanted to keep Tower of
So
Grace
funny.
shorter.
Reverse star, lack of faith, despair, self-trust, disconnection. Was some of those kind of describe Jojo?
Yes.
Disconnection, self-trust.
Self-trust is something that he like gains because I feel like in the beginning he really doesn't have much self-trust.
Yeah.
Because he like literally locks himself away so that he doesn't destroy the world.
Yeah.
All right. So the chariot. This one, I think, is probably the closest.
Mm-hmm.
Battle, rags to riches, and victory.
Yeah.
So I feel like...
Even the reverse stuff has self-discipline, opposition.
For Chariot?
Yeah.
Wait, what were those again?
Reverse Chariot is self-discipline, opposition, and lack of direction.
Huh. I guess you could kind of justify opposition and lack of direction, because he's more guided by his, like, honor.
Yeah.
In this fight, and we haven't really talked about this fight yet, but this whole like fight is very like unlike the other characters that have been like Kakqueen was doing very deceptive things to try and get over Jotaro, whereas Polnareff is like totally just like 1v1 me. I will do things to make it more fair for you because
I want you to go 100% while I go 100% kind of thing. So yeah, let's get back to here.
So yeah, that was our little step into tarot reading.
Yes, Joseph references his plane experience.
Yes,
third time
the other
crashing,
2 times.
Which you remember the other 2?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So near the beginning of part 2, when he went over with Speedwagon, and he was reading a copy of Superman.
Yes,
I like part 2 a lot.
Except I think it was was it in Bao in like the anime because he couldn't.
Did they do that?
I think it was like Bao inside the anime because he couldn't draw Superman in an anime.
They probably could have actually. Why can they use all these band names without getting arrested?
Because Japan copyrights.
All right, and the second time was near the very end, when he's challenging cars with the airplane.
Yes, and this is number 3.
Does he literally crash into him with the airplane?
He crashes. He hits
with Stroheim. I think
that
Stroheim's
into the volcano.
Yeah, okay, that's right.
Then so and we find out they get rescued by a helicopter in the water, which is hilarious because there's still some dead. There's like a bunch of dead bodies in there.
Not
too.
Technically an airplane. Yeah, there are. There's at least we see. There's got to be 10 corpses on that plane.
He kills like the 3 pilots, and then there's I think 4 bodies in the plane.
Okay, yeah, there's like 4 tongues in the one shot. 4 to 5.
And then Tower of Grey itself.
Yeah.
And so and then they land in Hong Kong. We see a bright shot of 7-Eleven.
So I really like how Araki depicts Hong Kong in this. It's very interesting. Like we see initially like the very classic
this like the coast, like the city.
And yeah, we see how it's like I don't really know too much about Hong Kong except it's very in the news lately.
Yeah, and as it's recording, it's very in the news.
But I know that it's kind of this like mishmash between like hyper future and like tradition. So we see like this very old fashioned sailboat. I don't know what you'd call that, like a what's the word, like a galley? Galley ship? Galleon? I don't know. Whatever the like Chinese terms are, I don't know. But so we see that, and then we see the huge like city skyscraper.
We see a statue and one thing. Then we get like the inner city kind of looks like very like San Francisco kind of looking.
Yeah, so it's neat because it's showing like how tradition and technological advances.
And then 7-Eleven, of course.
Yeah, so there's a 7-Eleven sign, and then they go into a very like traditional like Chinese restaurant.
Yeah. And we learn T101.
Very, very cool setting. Yeah, this is... Sam and I were talking about this. Like, it just feels like Araki finds these, like, little interesting tidbits that he likes to put in his manga.
He went to Hong Kong and someone, like a tour guide or something, he explained to him, like, the etiquette of, like, tea. And, like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, if someone's from Hong Kong here, first off, more power to you. Second off, tell me, is the tea thing real? Is the tipping your tea? It feels like something you'd see at like one restaurant. It's like one thing that you do.
You know what I was admitting is like it was funny because like when he took the teapot, I kind of like oh no, I like he's gonna pee in it.
Oh, to me, the way that it's presented, it feels like the kind of suspense, like how Rocky starts to put like suspense around like mundane objects.
Yeah.
And when I was reading this, I was like, is Polnareff gonna jump out of that teapot?
Close.
Yeah, honestly though.
So also we get like a food display as well, which is like a bunch of like I guess Hong Kong food platters.
Yeah, we get the funny scene where Joseph thinks that he can read Chinese, and
I can read a little bit of.
What would it be? Would it be Mandarin in Hong Kong, or would it be Cantonese? I don't know.
I'm not entirely sure, honestly.
Whatever.
Yeah,
I feel like I should know that.
Talk about some of the like, food platters.
Yeah, so I just think it's really funny that he's like, oh yeah, we'll just get like shrimp and duck and shit, and he ends up getting very weird things. So the one is a fried frog, which I don't know if Araki's like making a joke, and it literally looks like they just battered and deep fried an entire frog. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that was a real dish, but... 2
official languages of Hong Kong, Chinese and English.
Okay, Chinese. Thank you for just saying.
Chinese and English are 2 official languages.
I know, but like, Chinese, there's like...
This is Chinese, that's all I got.
That's confusing.
Thanks, Google.
Alright.
The rice soup, I've never had a frog or anything, frog legs. I wouldn't trust that. And I don't know, they're like mussels or whatever, and I probably wouldn't. Yeah,
they look like some sort of, like, similar to mussels, and then there's like a fish.
Yeah, you ever had frogs since you went to Europe and everything?
I have not had frogs. It is kind of funny, though, that the one little reaction we see of Polnareff
just joins them.
Polnareff looking at the fried frog excitedly is like my favorite thing that I've noticed so far about part 3.
Also, like, Polnareff just casually sits with them and like eats.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
I mean,
we didn't even talk about how funny that is. Polnareff just walks up and he's like, "Hello, I am French tourist. Can you show me how words work in Chinese?"
And then, but what's it called? I think he's acting very evil. Like very like the part where he like has like the star, like the carrot shaped like a star in his like chopstick.
It is really funny to me.
It's like such an eye for detail, and just like what does it remind me of? He just looks at like Jotaro. It's so fucking funny. It's so villainy. His hair is like really short in that one shot too, which is really weird because I'm just so used to his hair being like very tall.
Yeah, it's funny. Also, I love there's one little shot, like right before he puts the star on his the part where like the area of the shoulder where it goes, he's got like devil horns coming out of his hair almost. Yeah. It reminds me of like Garo from One Punch Man.
That's where the flesh buds are, so maybe he's like making his hair like...
They're actually tentacles under there.
Yeah.
Styling his hair. Doesn't it kind of look like Garo a little bit?
A little bit.
From One Punch Man.
Not nearly as like less clothing on.
Mm-hmm. I do love that Joseph has like his turtleneck on. I think it's just really funny.
His first costume that he wore like all the time, not until he just like the safari looking suit.
So yeah, he puts the fucking star on his neck, and he's like, we've been set up.
So yeah, so there's like a bowl of like soup or something, and it just like bubbles and like silver cherry just comes out of it.
So I think it's probably the rice porridge or whatever the rice thing we saw from
the rice soup.
Yeah.
There was like, so we were just saying so can it like silver cherry change its shape to like look like that and then come out, or is it just like the hand coming out because that's like the range of it?
So okay,
but it looks like it's just bubbling because it's like is the soup.
So here's gonna be one of those times where I'm just like, stand rules don't make sense and they never have been consistent. So Silver Chariot has to be going through. He has to be intangible through this table, or it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Or he can just generate like parts of his body in the air, which I guess is true.
Well, he walked up to them when the food was there, so he had to like manifest his stand like under the table into it to get like a prank or something where you have like a head pop out.
I like the idea that Silver Chariot's like crouched under the table the whole time.
Sort of cut like a little hole on it into the bowl and then just like put itself in there.
Yeah, so we have to. I mean, obviously, I think the one thing that you can just like, and it's kind of like a normie excuse or like a Jojo Brony excuse is like, Araki just values the visuals of things. He doesn't care about how things like actually work. And that kind of makes sense for here. It's like he wanted to have the visual of Silver Chariot stabbing Joseph through this porridge.
Because you want any attack, you have to be to the metal hand because that'll just be fixed off screen.
Yeah, and it is interesting that he comes out of the part. Like, it's visually interesting. I will give it that. But must stand rules. They don't make sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can be through objects, and most of the times they cannot.
But most of the early part, we just see like the hand sword part, which is really cool. Then we get that full shot of it, and it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah. So another thing too, I guess, is like a lot of times we see stands. I mean, this is like pretty consistent for all JoJo. Is they're not entirely corporeal. Like a lot of the time, there'll only be like you'll see like the upper torso of like Star Platinum a lot.
Sometimes you'll just they'll be like see through them or something. Sometimes it just like Silver Chariot I think comes up way more solid than most stands do.
In this first appearance, he's kind of got like the Hierophant green like tentacle thing going on.
Yeah. But then he makes a freaking clock out of the table like on fire. It's hilarious that he's able to use the fire to make numbers.
This fight has like some of the weirdest gimmicks in JoJo.
It does.
So the whole like fire table thing is such a I don't know what to make of it.
I wrote this in my next comment. This thing is a dick measuring contest between Abdul and Polnareff.
It really is just like them trying to be like fucking more epic than you.
And then he does the famous coin trick that he does for all his intros in like the fighting games.
Which is super cool. And not only does he capture all the coins, he pierces all the coins perfectly. He also pierces fire too.
I mean, couldn't he just pierce fire anyway? Can you really actually pierce fire?
It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, guys. This doesn't make any sense.
For all you fire experts, please explain.
Yeah.
All you pyromaniacs.
Unless we're supposed to imply that those are actually embers.
I don't know.
But we've already fallen for it, Sam. We're already thinking too much into this thing that doesn't need to be thought about at all.
Yeah,
it's just supposed to look cool.
So one thing I noticed, the waiter is like noticing this, but he's like seeing like just so he not only is he seeing fire appear, he is seeing like fire coins just floating in the air. If you think about it,
yeah.
It's like I love what my favorite like concept in Standout is like what are these civilians that are in the background seeing right now, and I love that thought so much.
This is such a funny... So this whole scene's really funny to me because it feels like a fight's about to happen, and then like he even stabs Joseph, and then Polnareff is just like leaves the room and he's like, let's fight outside actually.
He's like, I want your stand to go 100% because it's fire based, so we'll go outside and go to this place that Iraqi probably visited on a tourist site.
It would have to have. There's no way. There's even like a really awkward little like narration.
What's it called, the Tiger Bomb Garden?
Yeah, it's called the Tiger Bomb Garden, and actually, okay, I want to see a real picture of it because it looks hideous.
I'm gonna pull it up. But
it looks hideous in the way he drew it. This isn't a slight against his art. I think that it literally just looks hideous. Probably. We'll see.
Not Tiger Woods, Google.
Tiger Woods Garden. So
here we go.
He even explains how
it's so weird. Like it looks like a Disneyland.
Oh wow, it really does.
It looks like a Disneyland.
Okay, I have to say it does look better than I thought it would look in person.
It's very cartoony, like a lot of the environments. Like,
yeah. This is like great podcast.
I mean, you can probably get a picture up or two.
I'll put a few pictures up. Okay, here's my last thing I'll say about this. I think maybe they just chose bad colors when they decided to color this manga.
They probably like looked up some pictures of it and tried their best on a couple of things at least. So yeah, they go to the Bomb Garden. Someone yells horror, which I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. He says it several times. He does like a horror rush, actually.
Horror.
Is he Jewish, maybe?
Maybe. And then Silver Chariot, he also does like, he just speaks through Silver Chariot a couple times in this.
Yes, okay. Something I fucking love in JoJo, and we didn't talk about it in Tower of Grey. Tower of Grey speaks through his bug sometimes, and I like to imagine it just sounds like a funny bug.
Remember in part 5 when the fly was speaking?
That was bad. I don't like that.
It was weird. So yeah, they also make some magician's red statue out of the fire that shot like at Silver Chariot.
So similar to how we were talking about how Tower of Grey is really overpowered, Silver Chariot is really fucking precise.
I mean, and we also saw him able to make like fire art as well.
Yes.
He makes like tornadoes because he's so quick. He has like 2 swords, right?
No, he just has one sword.
He has one sword. There's some. I'm thinking of Anubis. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. It looks so fast. It looks like he's holding 2 swords at some point because he has the after image stuff he can do.
You know, as far as I know, he only has one sword in the beginning. Yeah, it just the way that Rocky draws like when he does like a barrage of sword attacks,
Also,
it just looks like a lot of swords.
and also like the eyes like moving like a human. Like if you look at like the close-up of Silver Chariot, it's so like interesting, like reacting like Polnareff.
I really like the weird wrinkly like visage under the eyes. I think it's such a like Silver Chariot's a very cool stand.
I think
like
Silver Chariot's probably one of my favorite stands in JoJo because it's simple but it's cool and it just does so much.
Yeah, it's a perfect just like simplified concept. Like it's like a skinny knight that's really fast.
Yeah.
And can still and
as a sword.
He's not really a knight. He's more
it's like a rapier.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so he makes the mission ready. They have a straight up fight. This is like the closest thing to an actual just them brawling essentially.
Yeah, we haven't had like a real proper like prolonged stand fight yet, have we? Maybe the Cat Queen one.
Cat Queen, but that was also more just like he had to deal with the nurse stuff, and then he had to get close to him and all that stuff, and then and then he destroyed the entire part of that school
in one blow.
Yeah, and
I guess you could say like there's been fights, but this is like to me it feels like the most like
it's Punch Ghost versus Punch Ghost like at their close range stand versus close range stand. Like, you don't really get that often anymore. That or at least when the Punch Ghost has like that special ability, like Josuke versus Kira was just like it was a long range battle.
Yeah.
Where like so
and this one they do a lot of fun stuff too. They give since they're both very different stands.
The Crossfire Hurricane that's shaped like an Ankh.
Yeah, they're both very different stands, so the way that they fight's different. It's just kind of neat. Like Magician's Red obviously is constantly like casting things, and Silver Chariot has like really fun like speed shit he does.
Yeah, and then he burnt Polnareff, but then like either the injuries would not, if he survived, the injuries would knock him out for 3 months,
and he would be permanently disfigured.
But you can't be like oh, if he survived, it would be 3 months. I feel like it would take for a near fatal injury that could possibly be fatal. It'd be more than 3 months.
Well, we see characters take
worse.
pretty bad injuries, and they're fine the next day. So.
Mista's got fine. But yes, and then but he claps like a true crazy person, just like, oh, my stand had armor, I guess.
Yeah,
because his stand literally has protection.
Yeah, I don't know how to like parse this. Like, so is he just like invincible?
But then he's like, oh, I can just I remove the armor now. It's super fast, but he's a lot more vulnerable now, which I do love a stand that has a power up, but
detachable.
It's also a weakness to it as well. Like,
yeah, there's a catch to it.
He's way faster, but the stand can literally get fucked up by anything.
So one thing I want to say, just like a little observation that I've noticed is Araki does a lot of stands inside of people like shots, and they're very interesting. Like just for example, there's one where like Hierophant Green is just kind of like peeking through Abdul here.
You mean Magician's Red?
Damn it. It's not even the same color. Why would I say Hierophant Green?
I don't know.
Magician's Red is peeking through Abdul, and it's there's a lot of things with like...
Looks like he had like the third eye, the TN, like third eye coming out of him.
Yeah, you see it a lot with Polnareff posing with Silver Chariot a lot too.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Also, yeah, the scene when he gets melted is fucking awesome looking. Like, Silver Chariot is like fucking melting to pieces.
But he was wearing armor, so he didn't actually melt. He was just changing the form of his stand to look like he was melting.
Also,
unless that's supposed to be what the armor off is supposed to look like or something.
Yeah.
Of him melting. But I'm pretty sure it did just shoot off.
It looked like he was in pain. We also see one of the most incredible things. So Polnareff starts to fly for a bit. And then we see that it's actually Stan carrying him.
Yeah, you see only like really one shot of him like carrying him in the ground,
which is something that I wish we saw more of, because it's like, why wouldn't you? Like, you could literally fly.
Yeah,
like you can fly in JoJo. Just have your stand hold you, and then have your stand walk around the ground while it holds you.
So don't worry about it.
Like a fucking Titanic like reference.
That's too much. Rocky does too much for Rocky to remember.
And doesn't that happen near the end? Like when Jotaro and Dio just start flying at the end. Like, is that? Or am I supposed to?
They just do it without their stand. They just
start to fly.
Yeah. They just glow. They have the aura, and then they just fly.
That's one of my least favorite things. I'm sure that someone in the comments will be like, Oh, actually, they're doing a thing called stand jumping, where it's called stand spoofing, where
Stand floating.
Their stand.
It's like a David Blaine trick where or a Chris Angel thing where you're trying to levitate or some shit.
Every 3 seconds, Star Platinum's actually pushing up on Jotaro's feet to make him like.
If they pan down a little bit more, you would see like they're like the world and Star Platinum's like buckling, trying to hold him up, like really struggling.
Yeah.
That's fine. So another thing the one thing the villain thing he does, he's like, let me explain what my stand is. Like,
it's
come
silly.
on. So yeah,
his hair. This is where his hair is reaching like normal lengths too. Like,
yes. He has the after image ability, which is cool.
It is super cool.
So he had 10 years of training his stand, which I think he's supposed to be like 16, 17.
Whoa, I missed that part.
Yeah, he said I had like 10 years of training.
Why did he say that? That's crazy.
I think
I might have skipped it.
Yeah, I think you may have. Yeah, at one point he said
10 years.
I know. Well, he said that he had a stand since he was a kid.
Is he one of the characters that like unlocked his stand naturally through like?
He was born with a stand, like Cat Queen was.
Cat Queen was born with a stand.
I'm pretty sure he says he was like he's like, oh, Apple's like me. He was like born with it, and like he didn't develop it like the Joestars did.
Damn it! I should have fucking reread this chapter, I guess.
That's why I take my notes, just so I can remember these little things.
Yeah. I really need to find that line now. Whatever.
It's in the beginning of it, but he's
near the beginning of that chapter.
I believe so. Once he gets back up.
Polnareff.
There it is.
Okay, what precision? His stand ability has been trained at length. 10 years, yes. Now, let's finish this. Okay, so, holy shit. Imagine a literal... And would you say how old he's supposed to be?
I think he's still... I'm looking it up, but I'm pretty sure he's, like, close to the same age as, like... what's it called?
Well, spoiler alert, we do see him with a baby silver chariot later on.
Yeah. That's why he's able to still have it, I think.
Oh, yeah. I think
Because when Jojo gets turned into a kid, he can't use it because he wasn't born with it. Or Polnareff had like a little baby one.
I love that.
It looks like a Toon World card from Yu-Gi-Oh! Nice reference.
What a strange reference.
Yeah, no, the Toon World cards?
I know it. I know exactly what you're saying. But it's like a hilarious reference.
Great reference. I don't want to open an app store, damn it.
How is this taking you so long?
Because freaking wikis had 20,000 ads, and I want to punch them, and I had to go through 20 pictures. Like, there's OVA Polnareff. It looks really weird.
One thing I really like is when Silver Chariot gets attacked by...
Part 3. He's 22 in Part 3.
Huh.
So he's training since he was 12, I guess.
That makes a little more sense, I guess. I mean, it's better than, like, a 6-year-old having a stand. That's horrifying. What kind of horrible things would happen if a baby, like a little baby, had a stand?
He probably had it, but he didn't like use it. He probably used it to play pranks on people.
Yeah, I really wish that Araki would go more into people that get their stands through not stand arrows.
Polnareff's favorite color, gold. Favorite movie, The Bad News Bears. The hobbies, any sport.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, that's it. Okay. I like when Magician's Red does the Crossfire Hurricane special, which he abbreviates CFHS. Which sounds like a high school, like the Chuck Farley High School. The Chris Farley High School.
Crossfire.
Also, it's just funny to me that he wins by shooting a fire through the ground.
Yeah, an ankh. A cross, as some say.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier. He calls it a cross, but it is an ankh.
So, yeah, then he basically just like, puts him on like fire, and he like, gives him a knife to tell him to kill himself before the fire does.
This is one of like the most like sinister Avdol moves ever.
I told you, like he had his knife on the entire time, like on the plane, and
so think about Avdol just doing this like normal. Like this is just how he behaves.
Because it was like a kitchen, like a steak knife, or like a steak, something to cut your steak up. Like he had it from the kitchen or something from the restaurant. I can understand, but it's like a legit.
It is an ornate dagger. That like, it kind of looks like a screwdriver that got repurposed into a dagger.
Like the first time he put it toward like the flesh bud, and the second time he like looks like he had to throw it, then he just puts it down, which I really like if you catch that.
Yeah.
And then like once he puts it down, like, oh, you beat me, I'll die by the way you beat me, and then
which is awesome.
Yeah. Then he respects it and he puts him out.
And then Jotaro just does his... Jotaro gives a big smile, which is, like, the weirdest... It's... Seeing Jotaro smile
I
think
he's just having to do the surgery thing again. Like, precision... like, how much of, like, a tough big deal it was for Cat Queen, and then you just do it in, like, one panel with
it's not a big deal anymore.
No.
When this happened, when not in the anime, I was like, okay, is this just gonna happen like every episode now?
No, this is the last time you see a flesh and blood, other than until part 4.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Okuyasu's dad.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just hilarious.
Flesh Bud's so interesting.
Remember Dio's flesh bud hair attack that he did like a couple arcs ago?
Yeah, his hair exploded.
So yeah, and then that's the
that's the end.
That's the end of the chapter. What'd you think of this one?
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm excited to see where like the differences when Polnareff becomes a goofball. To see how this weird honor. I want to see him cheat eventually, most likely.
Yeah, he's such a like honorable dude, and like
that somehow he overpowered the flesh buds like directions.
Programming, yeah.
Just kind of kill him outright to just having a duel. Yeah, plus, you hardly ever see a stand fight like I have a stand, we're fighting.
Yeah.
Other than like, what was the part 7? Just like, this is my stand, this is his name. That's all I'm telling you, kind of thing.
Yeah, it is interesting to see. Just like, all right, there's no tricks.
We are fighting.
Yeah, no deception, no tricks. Like,
because like other than that, like maybe Dio. The world is probably the closest, like, let's just, I don't know, even...
There's a whole mystery with
that,
though.
Yeah, mystery, even Cream kind of, like, they're fighting face-to-face kind of thing. There's, like, one surprise attack, but that's, like, really it.
What was I gonna say?
Like, straight up, like, telling you, like, we're fighting, not just, like, surprise, eventually.
It makes me wonder how the whole flesh bud thing works, because, like, how different was Cat Queen behaving than normal?
Yeah.
Like, is that maybe that's just how Cat Queen is? Like, maybe he is just kind of like weirdly dark and mysterious.
Maybe he had that marionette training the entire time.
Maybe it wasn't too far out of his. But like, whenever we normally see him, and he's pretty like sweet, kind of like soft-spoken boy.
Yeah.
Like he definitely plays up his like
he's
sexuality a bit with the ladies.
Yeah, he's kind of cool-headed, like kind of like really smooth and cool and everything. Like,
and it's funny because he makes Jotaro like look like a hothead, even though Jotaro isn't, but just in comparison, because Cat Queen just never like loses his cool.
Yeah, Abdul's probably the very calm as well. Where Jotaro is the most like probably outlandish. Like probably him and Polnareff will probably be the most like.
Yeah, and well, of course, Joseph. Like
Joseph goes,
oh my god,
he's all over the place though. He goes from goofy to like can be serious to like he's all over the place.
Like that one scene with him and Holly last chapter.
Yeah,
that's really good. I like that.
So, anything else you want to say about Silver Chariot?
I think he's really cool. Yeah. He's a cool stand.
I'm glad Polnareff is finally here now.
Yes, me too. It feels so weird not having him.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the 4 of them. Like, even though they did the iconic pose, like, last chapter, or no, sorry, last arc, it doesn't feel right without Polnareff.
Yeah, we have one, and then now we have one last Crusader to go. Whole horse.
Oh, that's right.
So... Yeah. So yeah, I think next 2 arcs are going to be the sea arcs, so...
Yes. The big monkey.
Monkey and Captain Tennille.
What's that fucking weird monk? The orangutan with like the human lips. What? The fucking stinky. It's
stinky. I remember the TikTok video of like the life with it.
Yes. Yeah, that was so the same picture. That was so funny.
I was at D&D and like people were like, "What are you watching?" They showed them. They're like, the end of it is like amazing. Like,
yeah, I can't explain this.
I'll retweet it. If you want to follow, I probably got to retweet it.
Okay, that's the easiest way because I don't feel like uploading a video to the.
It's fine. No, I'll retweet it. But yeah. So yeah, anything else? Are we good to the part I played?
I don't have anything else to talk about. I think it's really just a straightforward fight. You see the characters' personalities. We get a little more Avdol development. I think it's like Araki's doing a pretty good job at giving everyone, like, even though the cast is growing, like focusing on characters and
the biggest cast we've had yet, technically, in going in order of the parts.
Yes.
Like.
Yeah, because part 1, it fluctuates a great deal.
It was mainly Jonathan, Feedwagon, and DeBelly. And then it was like Caesar, Lisa, and Joseph mainly. I mean, there were other members of the part 1 crew, but the main 3 were those, and then they're the main 3 of part 2. And now this one. In this one, we have, Avdol, Joseph, Cat Queen, Polnareff now, and we're going to even have another one as well.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Something funny. This blew my mind because I felt like I can't believe I never noticed this before. So in part 1, the little the little Mexican boy that joins them, Paco,
or
Poco.
Poco.
That's Poco Loco in part 7.
Is it supposed to be? crazy?
Isn't that crazy? It is. It's Poco Loco.
Hey, did he have a sister?
I don't know if he
said.
says.
Poco's like big motivation with his sister. Like, did they ever reference like his?
Wasn't
sister?
he also like literally an ex-slave though?
Maybe who? Poco Loco?
Poco Loco, yeah. Well, he was an ex-slave, yeah.
Yeah, he was.
So okay, maybe he's not Mexican. To me, Poco. In part one, it also
he was European.
Yeah, but he's like really dark skin.
Fuck, it's
his name's also Poco.
I forget where where part one ended somewhere else in Europe. I think
no, it was England.
Is it England?
Yes, remember the whole like Dio recruits.
I could have swore they went to a different part of like Europe toward the end because Dio had his own mansion.
Yeah, just in England. It's like a British town. Oh,
yeah,
he recruits. He recruits.
That's right. The people who
who's the murderer? Who's the guy? The famous
Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper. He recruits Jack the Ripper.
They came out of a horse.
I forgot about that. It's one of my favorite scenes in JoJo.
And then the two other like legendary hero characters that were executed.
Mm-hmm.
You know them.
Not real. Oh, Bruford and Tarkus.
Yes. So
Bruford and Gooford.
Yes. That's interesting. I had never thought about that.
I know, yeah, me too. And I saw someone on like Reddit or whatever said, I was like, oh my god, how would I not make this connection?
Are you ready to have the random girl sidekick be in the part 3 now for a couple arc? Because I hate her.
I don't remember having any strong feelings about her.
She's
either
a nothing
way.
character just there to drool over Jojo, if I remember.
Does she? I think she's also like used as like a damsel in distress hostage.
Pretty sure the orangutan goes up to her and she's in the shower.
I forgot about that.
I think that's coming up.
Oh no, I forgot about that. Oh, I hate it. I hate it.
Creepy gorilla.
Oh, it's an orangutan.
Right. He's equivalent of like the big disgusting guy and like they have in Japanese art, just disgusting man.
I forgot about that, Sam. Oh, it made me so sad and upset. I'm gonna have a bad time reading that part now.
You're gonna have a bad time anyway.
Damn it, because I remember thinking, oh, it's fucking funny that a monkey shows up in JoJo. And then, like, damn it, there's a weird like monkey rape scene that's gonna happen.
Sexual tension between a monkey and a little child.
Awful. Awful.
The worst part.
All right, we have to end this on this sour note.
All right. Thank you very much for listening.
You have to take a shower after that.
Cold shower.
Yeah, cold shower.
I wouldn't do it. The monkey might show up. Pull out the curtain.
He's just sitting there, breathing heavily.
In his captain suit.
Yeah.
Can appreciate.
He doesn't have a captain suit.
So thank you much for listening. The image in your head now.
Horrifying.
Please, if you haven't, like the video, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Please put your thoughts about this arc or any little things we've talked about. It's cool. You can follow the channel or either one of us, if you said on Twitter. We have the link for that. Check out any of our other videos, like our party discussions, any of our other spoiler casts for other like parts 5 to 7. And other little things like Hunter x Hunter, other stuff like that, little things sprinkled in there. And I think it's all the little plugins I got. Plugins, yeah. Those air freshener things called plugins. That's what
Febreze plugins. That's what my brain immediatly went to. Instead of plugins. Not like something computer based, what you think of normally.
No, that's stupid. Who would think of that? At retail, my man.
Yeah, right. The fucking commercials have ruined my brain. Turned my brain into putty.
Glade plugins, I think it was.
Yeah, Glade plugins.
Too much retail.
Plug it in. All right, we're just sponsored by Glade plugins.
Yeah, thank you, Glade plugins.
We're not actually sponsored by
I wish.
We're sponsored by their competitors.
We're sponsored by you,
Woodwick.
the fans.
Yeah.
We don't have Patreon yet. We're not nearly that big enough to have that.
I don't want to ever have a Patreon.
Really?
I feel weird about it. I don't know what we do. Okay, we need to end this. All right. Goodbye, everyone.
All right, thank you very much for listening. Bye.
Bye.